When all the employees stood up to greet the CEO, the woman was stunned to realize that the man she had impulsively married was actually the wealthy CEO of the company. She froze in shock. At that moment, the CEO also spotted her. Just a month earlier, under pressure from her mother to settle down, the woman had gone on yet another blind date, but she had accidentally sat at the wrong table. The CEO had walked over, telling her she was in his seat. She looked up at the handsome man, momentarily dazed. It wasn't until he waved his hand in front of her that she snapped out of it. She quickly stood up and introduced herself, thinking he was her date. The CEO looked confused, but took a seat across from her anyway. She explained it was her 6th blind date, and she was only there to fulfill her mother's wishes. The CEO chuckled, saying his family was the same way. Encouraged, the woman started telling him more about herself. The man casually mentioned that he didn't own a car or a house, but she didn't seem to mind at all. After dinner, they said goodbye cheerfully. As she walked away, a Rolls-Royce pulled up to pick up the man. He stood still for a moment, deep in thought. The next day, the CEO went out for a business meeting. As fate would have it, the two bumped into each other again. When the woman picked up something he had dropped, she suddenly realized he was the same man from the blind date. But the CEO just turned and walked away. The woman called after him, saying she forgot to pay her share for last night's dinner. He didn't respond, so she simply left. After she was gone, the CEO turned to look at her and quietly told his assistant that she's a good woman. That evening, the CEO went to a hospital, only to bump into her again. It turned out the woman's mother had suddenly fallen seriously ill and was undergoing emergency treatment. Exhausted and overwhelmed, the woman was about to faint when the CEO caught her in his arms. He immediately ordered his assistant to call for a doctor. Then he went straight to speak with her mother's physician, who informed him that her condition was critical. Meanwhile, the woman stayed strong for her mother, assuring her everything was fine. She even told her that she already had a boyfriend. Her mother was deeply comforted by that. At the same time, the CEO had already figured out everything about the woman, because she was one of his company's employees, and by then, he had completely fallen for her. To keep up the lie she told her mom, the woman messaged the man from the blind date, offering to pay him for a year to pretend they were married. The CEO smiled at the message. Then she asked if they could meet again the next day. To her surprise, he immediately agreed. Relieved, she let out a breath. The next day at a cafe, she handed him the key to her apartment. The CEO took it without hesitation, accepting it right away. Overjoyed, the woman asked him to come to the hospital with her and help convince her mother their relationship was real. At the hospital, the CEO chatted warmly with her mother. The woman watched them, her heart full, finally smiling with genuine happiness. She thanked the CEO, but to her astonishment, he replied, "Let's go get our marriage certificate." She was completely stunned.